Hello guys, welcome back to Random Thoughts. I am the D. Marie, and we are here with one of my favorite guests, Ashley.
Hi.
Welcome back, Ashley. So, typically, Women's Health Month is in the month of May, and I feel like awareness of women's health should be any month, every month. And so we're going to talk about your health, my lovely. You told me you have lipedema. Am I saying that right?
Lipedema.
All right. Tell us, what is lipedema?
So lipedema is a connective tissue disorder. It's also called like the fat disease. Basically, it makes your fat resistant to diet and exercise. I kind of like thought something was going on because I had been like working with a personal trainer, and I had lost like a lot of weight, but I really wasn't seeing any reduction in the measurements around, say, like my calves or my thighs or my arms. They were all the same, whereas like my waist was shrinking. And so I was like, what's going on here? And like I ended up getting a diagnosis from a leg and vein clinic, like a vein clinic, and they diagnosed me as stage 1, borderline stage 2 lipedema, and did all kinds of tests and like different things that basically was their confirmation that this was what I had. And it just really sucks because a lot of people will look at certain people and be like, oh, they're fat, they just need to eat better, or they just need to like exercise more. But unfortunately, in my case, all of those things would have no effect on the lipedema, and there's no cure for it. There's no pill I could take. There's a lot of, I'm in like a lot of Facebook communities that talk about dealing with it because it is painful as well. The fat forms, if you look at like a cross section of like what a normal person's fat looks like, it's basically like a blob. Like if you're looking at a piece of steak and like how the fat is on a piece of steak, like it's just all connected and it's just like all together. Whereas with someone with lipedema like me, in certain areas of your body, your fat breaks off into hard nodules, almost like little balls of fat all spread out throughout your body. And so it visually causes like a lot of dimples and like cellulite appearance, so that is a part that sucks about it. And then also these nodules end up pressing against different muscles and veins and things like that, causing it to be painful. So like if someone comes and just like pinches my arm, like it'll hurt more than what a normal person would feel. And that's kind of like why I had suspected that something was going on too, because like if you ever get the feeling when you go and get your blood pressure taken at the doctor's, how they put that thing around your arm and they just like fill it up with air, and they keep like squeezing, that's like what my arms feel like the majority of the time, or like what my legs feel like the majority of the time. It's just this really tight, squeezy feeling. And when I was working with a personal trainer, even now when I go to the gym, it's easier for me to do things like the elliptical machine or the arc trainer versus like going on a treadmill, because as I'm lifting my legs to take steps, it feels like my feet are in cement blocks.
Oh gosh.
And I'm lifting so much more weight than what's actually there because of the pressure of these nodules. And so again, there's not any cure for this. There's things that you can do to manage the pain, to reduce the inflammation, but the actual only cure that I guess would be considered a cure is liposuction. And even then, you can't just go to any plastic surgeon and say, I want lipo. It has to be a special kind of liposuction, which is lymphatic sparing liposuction, which can be done in 2 different ways. It could be done by ultrasonic cavitation, where they're actually like sending shock waves to the fat to break down the nodules and then they suck it out. Or the water-assisted liposuction is where they're like spraying blasts of water at these nodules to break them down in smaller pieces. Because with regular liposuction, you're able to just suck out the fat and it's just like a liquid. But with the nodules, it's not. It's kind of like drinking boba out of a regular straw.
Okay.
So they need to break down that fat before they can suck it out through their straw.
So after so my question is, after they suck them out, is there a high chance of it coming back again?
Only if they don't get it all. So there's a lot of people that do try going to the regular liposuction doctors, and they'll get some of the fat, but not completely, and then that fat will expand, and then it just comes back. And so if you're not doing the water assisted liposuction and you're not doing like 360 lipo, and they're not getting like fully around, whether it's your arm or your leg, then it's going to come back. But once they get rid of the lipedema fat, it's not likely to return.
Well, that's good at least. What are the like really risks with getting that kind of liposuction?
No different than any other kind of liposuction. As a matter of fact, like I don't know if this is the case with other lipo, but there's a specific doctor that I follow in Florida. Someone, I don't know how, I think it was someone in one of my message boards, they ended up like posting a video about this doctor, and I went to YouTube and I watched like him do lipedema liposuction on a patient's arms, and I literally bawled my eyes out like just watching this video, because I was like imagining myself in the place of that woman, like being able to witness the transformation, because you do it completely awake.
Oh.
So you're completely awake, and they just numb the areas, and they're able to just cut small incisions into the arm.
Okay.
And it's like 360 lipo, so they're getting everywhere. They're getting this part of your arm, the underside of your arm, even a little bit on the side. And then he'll literally have you stand up and walk in front of the mirror and make you like do poses and stuff, so that you can see this is what it looked like before and this is what it looked like after.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to do this, like, and it's just like so amazing to me, like watching the transformation. I still follow him on Facebook and on YouTube, and I'm like, that's my dream. Like, I'm saving up to go to him for lipo, and it's kind of like at the crossroads, because I was recently watching a video that he posted that talked about like who is the ideal patient for the services that he provides, and he prefers to have women who are under the age of 40, because at 40 your skin starts to lose the elasticity and tightness, and in order for you to get the ideal results that he's going for, he wants that skin tightness to still be there.
Okay.
And so I feel like the time is really ticking for me to get in and get this done, because if I want him to do it, like, the time is ticking. I'm already 40. And so that was one of the reasons why it was so sad when I turned 40, because I'm like, this is now or never. Like, I'm either going to do this or I'm not. And so, like, we've been talking about, like, taking a lot of trips and stuff next year. And my husband's like, look, you need this surgery and you need to prioritize, like, what's more important. So you're either going to get the surgery now or never. And so it's kind of sad that I probably won't be able to take the trips that I want to take. But, you know, it's like,
it's something you got to do for your health, though.
And it's hard for me because I'm not, I feel like by me doing this for myself, it's selfish. Like,
no.
Even though, like, I feel like people will benefit from the joy that comes from me finally being happy with myself.
Yeah.
It doesn't directly benefit anyone. Like, it doesn't make the kid, I mean, I'm sure my family will be happy for me to finally be happy and not be in pain and not be uncomfortable appearance-wise and all this, but I still feel selfish getting it done because of how much money it costs. And
I feel like that's a symptom of being a mom in America, point blank period. We're so used to putting our kids first that actually taking the time to take care of ourselves first is just like, oh my God, I'm the most selfish, horrible human being in the world, and you're not. Like, this is what you need to do for your health. Because how long have you been dealing with this?
I got the diagnosis in 2020.
Okay, and it sounds like it's been, 5 years of a lot of pain?
And it's a lot of things that I've had to do to maintain it. So, like, I don't know if I sent you the pictures or not. If I haven't, I'll send them to you. But basically, after meeting with the person who diagnosed me, some of the maintenance things that they recommend for maintaining and not advancing the disease is using, what is it called? The compression stockings or compression leggings. Another thing is they gave me this little thing called a trampoliette. It's basically like a mini trampoline, but it's not for you to stand on and jump. It's so that when you're sitting still, like at your desk or something, you're just bouncing your legs up and down.
Okay.
To like keep the circulation going. Another thing I have is a vibration plate. So they recommend like 2 times a day minimum for 10 minutes each standing on this plate. And the vibration helps to break up the lymphatic blockages and again keep the blood flowing. I also have these compression like pants. They like go all the way up to your thighs, and they have all kinds of hoses and stuff connected to them.
Oh, wow.
And you sit there and you turn it on and you lay there for like 20 minutes, and it's just like that blood pressure thing I was talking about. It's like filling up with air, squeezing, then decompressing, squeezing.
It's almost like giving you a massage.
Yes.
Okay.
And then that's the other thing too that they recommend is lymphatic massage. They also recommend anti-inflammatory diet, which I've tried. So there's like a lot of things that they have you do, like special rollers and stuff. Dry brushing is supposed to help. So I've tried and have all of these things, and to me, like, they don't really do much. Like they may help with some of the pain. You know, some days are better than others. Like right now, and that's the other thing too, is you kind of get used to the pain when it's something that you deal with every day.
Yeah,
it just becomes normal. But when I notice it the most is like when I'm a pretty active person. I like to go out and do a lot of things and go hiking and go to concerts and stuff like that and walk around when I go traveling to different cities. And if I'm at a concert and I'm standing up for like more than like 30 minutes or something, like I just start to feel the heaviness in my legs, and then I just need to sit down. So it's like times like that when it sucks. Or like even when I like want to be cute and like do my hair and like put my hair up, like having my hands like up like this for like probably any longer than like 2 minutes or something, I just start to feel the heaviness in my arms from, you know, the lipedema nodules. And again, for me, it's also the appearance of like just having disproportionate proportion, basically. Like my waist isn't tiny, but it's smaller than like my legs and my arms, and so I always imagine like what I would look like if I were proportionate, like and how I feel like I wouldn't be as self-conscious as I am. Like I don't wear shorts. I don't even own shorts. I haven't owned shorts since high school. And then same with my arms. Like I do everything at all lengths to cover my arms. Like I own tank tops and spaghetti straps, but you will always see me with like a swimsuit cover-up duster thing.
Yeah.
Like I own like 10 of them.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen you out with your arms.
When it's hot outside, like I don't want to be dying with like sleeves on.
Yeah.
And so I have these things where they're like a very, very thin material, just enough to cover, like this, like, you know, this thin stuff, just enough to cover, but you're getting airflow, but it's covering my arms.
Yeah.
Because when I don't have anything over my arms, I'm so self-conscious. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, looking around at everyone. I just feel very masculine having my arms be as big as they are. Like I feel like a linebacker, like I'm gonna punch somebody or something. Like I want to feel feminine again, and I feel like by having small arms that I don't have to hide, I can feel that way. Well, that's the thing. Like I keep trying, my mind keeps trying to talk me out of being perceivably selfish and doing this surgery. But the main component that is driving me against my doubts is that lipedema is a disease and it does advance. And if I do nothing about it, it will go from stage 2 to stage 3, and it'll just keep getting worse. It's not going to get better.
So you're presently at stage 1?
Probably 2 now.
Okay. What's the difference in the stages?
So stage 1 is where you kind of just notice a little bit of disproportionate, like you'll have like a skinny waist, but your arms are just slightly bigger, or your legs are just slightly bigger, and you start to feel that pain. And not everyone feels the pain. And then stage 2 is when you start to get like, you know, just much more noticeable disproportion. You start to get cuffing. So like if you look at my arm, like it's starting to like be cuffed here, where you kind of notice like your wrists are skinny, but then all of a sudden there's just like, you know, fat that's just like bigger here, or like behind the elbow there will be like fat behind the elbow, where your arms are like basically like a pocket of fat that is over the elbow.
Okay.
Or like for me, by like my knees, behind my knees, I have lipomas, which are like large masses of fat that are like visual. Like if I'm wearing a dress or a skirt or shorts, like you can see the lump, and it's like a big lump behind my knee.
So if you don't have the surgery and it's untreated, you could even get to a point where you can't walk well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not selfish at all.
Right.
Indeed, this is something you need.
So the only other thing lately that I've been combating myself with finding the reasoning to do it, even with consideration of the possibility of well, it's not even a possibility. Like there's nothing that it's going to advance. There's no way to keep it from advancing, even with the maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
It just slows down the progression. It doesn't stop you from progressing. But I, in one of the Facebook groups that I followed, there was a woman on TikTok who posted about this new drug that they're testing in China. And this is something that just came out, I think within the past year or two. And it basically is a shot that you can inject directly into the areas of fat that are of concern. And it will dissolve the fat. And it will work on the lipomas, on the nodules. And it first started off as a treatment for people with lymphedema and lipedema, but then throughout the testing process, I guess to get more funding for the research, it became more of a beauty treatment, cosmetic type thing. And so all that means is yes, we'll be able to fast track the process of testing for it and getting the approval from the FDA on it. But then when it finally does make it to market, which they're saying is probably going to be 2027, it's going to be harder for insurance to give us approval for it, because it's going to be slated as a cosmetic procedure versus as a medical procedure. And that's the battle that a lot of people are having with getting insurance approval for the lymphatic sparing liposuction.
Mm-hmm.
There's whole companies out there where you can pay them to fight your insurance for you to get approval, and there's very few people that even get it. They pay all this money out of pocket for this company to get you the approval, and then when you finally get the approval, it's maybe a couple $100.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's just there's not really any big success stories of insurance being yes, you need this liposuction, we're going to cover you 100%.
Do you know if your insurance covers?
It doesn't.
Oh, so this is completely out of pocket for you.
Yeah.
And how
100%.
much is it?
$16,000. Yeah. $8,000 for the arms, $8,000 for the legs.
And can they do it all in one shot?
No, because by law you're only allowed to draw a certain amount of fat at a time.
Okay.
So they would have to break up the surgery.
So if you do this next year, you're going to be down for a big chunk of the year because you have to do one part and then the second part.
Well, that's the thing. There's not a lot of downtime with the surgery. Like I said, when you're awake during it, it's because it's really not that invasive. You're going to be sore for maybe a week, but there's not a big recovery period with it.
Okay. Yeah. So you could go back to work right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not right away.
But you'd need some time. But it's not the whole year is gone because I've got to do these 2 surgeries.
No, yeah, the bounce back's pretty quick.
Well, that's good. Yeah. And so, far as funding, how do you feel about that?
John wants me to get a Kickstarter, GoFundMe started. But again, I already feel bad enough getting it done, period, if I'm spending any money. But I don't know. I just have a hard time asking people for help. That's just me in general. I don't like asking people for help.
Yeah.
But he's there's people that love you that would want to help you. And I'm
even if it's just $1.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, if Ashley was to start a GoFundMe, comment below, would you donate? And don't BS me and tell me you would, and then when we start it, we don't. Be honest, would you donate? So is lipedema a hereditary thing?
Is.
Okay.
Yeah, so I definitely think that my mom has it. I definitely think that her mother had it. And it can't even be carried genetically on the male side. So for example, knowing that my grandmother had it, even though her sons don't show signs of it, if they have daughters, one of their daughters can show signs of it.
Oh.
It just doesn't tend to present as much in men as it does in women.
But if this is such a hereditary, it goes on type thing, why isn't it covered by insurance? Why isn't the care covered?
I don't know. That's been I mean, it just recently, within the past couple years, even got recognized by the medical community as being a true disease and like condition. Like it's much more accepted and recognized in places like Germany, where like a lot of the surgeons that perform the lipedema liposuction, they go to Germany to get the teaching for how to do it properly. It's just I don't know, it's just the way that the medical system is here. The doctor, and like for them to be like, you just need to lose weight, your BMI is high, and it's like I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that aggravates me.
They don't understand.
That aggravates me. I've been misdiagnosed so many times because people want to lay things on my weight and not actually dive deep into what's going on. Right. That's so frustrating. Well, Ashley, I am hoping that the surgery goes well and that you open up to saying, hey, would anyone like to help fund my health? Because $16,000 is a lot. Yeah. And I would love to see you get the surgery and still be able to go on a trip next year. That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, guys, if you would donate, comment below. If you've ever experienced issues with lipedema, comment below. Tell us how you guys are doing. And
a lot of people don't know that they have it. That's because I've done so much research, I can look at a person and be like, they probably have lipedema, because of the disproportionate. But there's so many women out there struggling with stubborn fat, and they're like, I'm exercising, I'm eating all the right things, like what's wrong? It's not going anywhere. And they don't know that there's nothing that they can do.
Wow.
And they're just pulling their hair out, frustrated, feeling down on themselves, feeling that there's something that they could be doing when really there's not. It's literally a disease.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, guys, make sure you get checked and push those doctors to do the check. That's my question. How did you get your doctor to get there, like to the correct diagnosis?
Yeah, so I think what it was is I started to feel the pain in my legs and in my arms. And then that's when I was referred to the vein clinic. And then they did the test on my veins because I was worried that I had blood clots. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was, not having... proper flow to my limbs. Like my arm be hurt. I would feel tingling in my arms sometimes. I would feel numbness in my arms, and legs sometimes. And so like, it was just in my, experience and journey of going to different doctors and just trying to cover all bases that I finally ended up at a vein clinic, because they were like thinking that it might be blood clots. So then they did vein tests to make sure that it wasn't blood clots, and then it was the vein doctor that was like, no, you have lipedema.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
And purely selfish, because I was misdiagnosed when I had blood clots. Yeah. How did you get them to look for blood clots? Did you mention that, or did they mention it?
It was just something that I thought. I was like, I just feel like the blood isn't moving through my body or something. Like, I just feel
so you advocated for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, something doesn't feel right. Like, my limbs are going numb and tingly and hurting and like spazzing out. Like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
So just in my mind, like, a part of me is a hypochondriac and I'm just always thinking the worst. So I'm like, there's got to be a blood clot, like something blocking something.
Yeah.
And so then that's when they're like, okay, well, we'll go send you to
Hey, I'm just glad they listened to you.
Yeah. I just think that the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry, all of that is all money driven.
Yes, it's about keeping you sick.
Yeah, it is.
And I just think that's crazy.
About, like, drug addiction and stuff like that, and how when you're addicted to drugs, they give you things like
more drugs
or methadone.
Yeah.
But then you also can form an addiction to those things. And it's like, but it's okay though, because the pharmaceutical industry is making money off of Suboxone.
We prescribe that to you, so it's okay. It's okay.
So we're getting you hooked on something, but at least we're making money out of it.
Yeah. I just feel like when it comes to weight and people who are overweight, they get misdiagnosed so much, not listened to, called lazy, and just not taken care of properly. Yeah. And I feel like, first of all, women don't get listened to enough.
Right.
And fat people get listened to even less. So it's like we're screaming, we've got to scream even louder.
Don't get me started. I'm going to cry if I really think about it. But that, like, my mom and my brother both have done modeling. Mm-hmm. And so my family is very, like, looks driven. Mm-hmm. And I've always seen myself as, like, the black sheep of the family because I don't fit into this beauty standard that they have. And I've always been hard on myself, and like finding out that I have this disease that's literally resistant to diet and exercise, it was like such a relief, because I've always been so hard on myself that I couldn't fit into this picture of what they deem to be, you know, beautiful and fit.
Yeah, and the fact is you can't. You physically can't.
I physically can't. I've tried. Like I've literally gone from like I think the highest I've been was like maybe like 250 something, 260 something, and I got all the way down to like 189 after working with the personal trainer. And again, my arms were still giant, my legs were still giant, but my stomach was smaller.
Yeah.
Because the lipedema just hadn't spread there yet.
Yeah.
So then, like, lipedema really didn't start to present itself, which is normal for people with lipedema, until they start having hormonal changes from, like, puberty or childbirth, or even later in life with, like, changes in their body.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's definitely something that's hormone driven. And every day, by being on these message boards, I start to learn, like, more and more, like I found out I'm not supposed to be eating soy at all, because my liver or something doesn't process soy, and so like that's an attributing factor. Like there's just so many things that I find out, and there's so many people like experimenting with like what works and doesn't work. Like when GLP-1s came on the scene, everybody's like, oh, well, will that work for us? Like, does that count for our fat too? Like,
yeah.
We have the same results. And so what a lot of people are finding is that it is actually having some positive effects with weight loss. But what it's doing is it's taking away the non-lipedema fat, because not all the fat is lipedema fat.
Yeah.
So the GLP-1s are taking away the non-lipedema fat and helping you to slim down in certain areas, but it's still leaving behind the lipomas, the nodules. But it is helping a lot of people with, even if they're not noticing any fat loss, they're noticing a reduction in inflammation. So I have thought about jumping on the GLP-1 train just for the reduced inflammation alone, so that I can get back some of my mobility, because like I said, if I'm on a treadmill and I'm trying to run on a treadmill, like it just feels like I'm running with cement blocks on my feet. And from a few years ago when I was working out with my friend Teo, who passed away, we were every Friday and Saturday morning at 6 a.m. running 3 miles. I was on it. And I was pushing through the pain, and when she passed away, I unfortunately fell off. But like I said, it was easy for me to fall off, seeing that I wasn't getting the results that I wanted.
Yeah, completely understand. Yeah. I really hope you can get the surgery, because it sounds like there's nothing else that will work.
There isn't.
That's got to be frustrating.
It is.
Sorry. I mean, but you're born that way, so it's like, what can you do other than this surgery?
Yeah, like I said, the world just sees you as a fat person, and they don't see that your fat actually causes you pain. That your fat isn't something that you could control.
Well, I hope you are good with the fact that it is isn't something you can control, and you're not as hard on yourself as you were before.
Oh, it was bad before the diagnosis. Before the diagnosis, like it would be hard for me to even eat in public, because I would feel so ashamed of my fat, and I would fall into the trap of feeling like there's something that I just felt like when I was eating, people would look at me and be like, she shouldn't be eating. Or like even when I would wear a bathing suit, like she shouldn't be wearing that. Like how dare she?
So you were being mean to yourself.
And that's why I don't own shorts.
Yes.
I still feel like if I go out of the house in shorts and a tank top, people would be like I just feel like offensive. Like my body is offensive.
So you are projecting. Okay.
I feel like my body is offensive.
And it's not.
I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't wear shorts and tank tops.
Yeah.
And like I wish that I didn't. Like, even though I have the acceptance now of knowing that there's not anything that I could do, and that I'm not lazy, and that I'm not eating poorly, and, like, I don't know. Like, I still feel like because of the standards that were projected onto me from my mother and my brother growing up, that I need to be presented in a certain way before I can wear shorts and a tank top.
And you know, everything to unlearn takes time.
Yeah.
It all takes time. And it's going to take time for you to get to a place where you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I want to wear shorts today. I'm going to wear shorts today. And if you even want to get to that point, some people... Oh,
I definitely do.
Yeah.
I'm dying to go short shopping. Like, I'm telling you, if I get this surgery on my legs, like, I'm going to have you follow me with a camera, and we're going short shopping.
Okay. I have a body cam.
Yeah, we're going short shopping for sure.
Guys, donate to the short shopping fund. I'm excited. I'm for it. I feel you, dude. I'm with it. All right. Well, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And you know what? Put hearts in the chat for Ashley because she's going to get this surgery. I know it. And still travel.
Hopefully.
All right, guys. Check you next time. Bye. Bye.